We're learning all about how the microphones work here on Pass the Hat.
Bob, we have a second mixing board. We have more equipment coming up here in the studio, do we? More mics?
We have almost doubled our mic capabilities for the larger bands. Like we had 2 weeks ago, we had, Secret Monkey Weekend and Sad Magazine here with drum kits and basses and guitars and all kinds of stuff going on. We've got several more mics now that we can bring to bear.
Well, we thank Bob Bertman for that and all of our supporters here, and everybody would love to have your support, so just get out there anytime, whupfm.org, and if you can share a little bit with us, we can buy even more microphones.
Yeah, we'll have the Mormon Tabernacle Choir in here with everyone having an individual microphone. And give us a couple years.
These are the good ones, too.
Yeah, quality radio microphones.
Yeah. So, Frank Pierce, when you have your song, and you've shared with us that occasionally it just comes out like a blast and in all its glory and it's perfect, but most of the time it's not that way. So after you have the first draft of your song, what do you listen for and what revision, if any, process do you go through?
I like to take as many words out as possible. There was a little book in England that my English guy gave to me, English teacher, and I don't have it anymore, and I didn't learn great diction, pronunciation, all that good stuff, but he always said use as least amount of words as possible, and I really like that. So a lot of times I'll write 30 lines of poetry, then cut it and cut it and cut it, so I have just the bare necessity.
Just the essence of the story that you need to tell, and that's actually an important point, because then people's own imaginations can fill in the rest.
Exactly. And
it'll be there, and they'll feel like they own it to some extent.
And I ask a lot of good friends, what do they think about it? And then they tell me, and they say, is that right? And I said, it's right because you said it.
Yeah, that's what it meant to you.
Yeah.
Anybody out there who's just beginning to write songs, Frank has given us wonderful advice here. And you'll be able to tell if you have a song and you have difficulty getting all the words out, you probably have some words in there you don't necessarily need.
Get out that eraser.
Get out the eraser. It'll be easier to say them, and it'll be more poetic at the same time.
I think for your music to really go somewhere and be compelling, you don't want to be the bard of the Dark Ages who was charged with telling full and complete stories of everything that happened because that was the oral history. You don't need to flesh everything out and provide all the details.
Well, he got paid by the words, so the more words, the more pig noses they gave him and other body parts.
It's good to have a lot of pig noses.
Yeah, if you have some sort of brine to put them in to save them.
Is that a Rougemont thing, pickled pig noses?
This time of the year, you don't need no freezer or refrigerator. You just put your pig noses out there in the backyard. And
do you mix them in with the broccoli?
Keep them in. The broccoli, sad to say, now we had a wonderful run of broccoli. We've posted some of the pictures and did pick about half a dozen nice heads that are about 5-inch. The night before it went down to 7, and now I have covered over the other 6 or 8 that I have out there that are smaller. I dare say that they probably are, only belong in the bird's eye frozen food section. But when it warms up, I'll uncover them. And, sometimes gardens can surprise you. But, we did have some great broccoli.
We have had, I apologize, Frank, we have had the broccoli report here on Pass the Hat for the past 3 or 4 shows.
I found to make a full-time living growing broccoli that I will need to evolve my skills, though.
All you have to do is grow just one head of broccoli that is just so fantastic, people have a bidding war to buy it.
Yeah, if it looks like some famous historical figure, like Mary Magdalene or something, then you can make some money on your broccoli.
I just had a brilliant idea. A broccoli bonsai. Yeah, you could be out there with your little scissors and trimming it and getting it to grow to look like Mary Magdalene if you want to.
Yeah, if we only knew what she looked like.
I used to pay people to eat my broccoli. In England, if you didn't eat your vegetables, you couldn't have any pudding. Remember that old thing?
I've heard this before, yes.
It's a true story. And the lunch lady used to come by and open up her pocket and let me stuff all that crap in there. I hated it. Huh. But the English overcooked everything.
So it didn't taste like broccoli anymore anyway?
I wouldn't eat broccoli if it was deep fried and pig grease and lathered in chocolate.
I'm getting hungry all of a sudden.
It's more for the rest of us. Our
You
hero,
can tell my figure is so beautiful, though.
It's a great radio figure, kind of like mine and Kirk's and everyone here in the studio.
everybody, if you want to see Frank Pierce in all his glory, if Frank is so kind as to let us, we do, as many of you know, take videos every show, and we have just a terrific YouTube channel. Whoop Ass the Hat, WHUP
What?
Pass the Hat, out there on YouTube with over 600 videos that Bob Johnson has compiled.
We
Great
are
stuff.
closing in on 700 now.
No kidding.
I kid you not.
Do we get a prize when we reach 1,000? We should.
I think we should,
YouTube give prizes like most
Just-
amazing,
just for sheer volume. Yeah, I think they should.
most
Yeah.
amazing original music channel.
Oh, well, it is
Goes
a
to-
pretty fantastic archive of North Carolina-centric music. A wide variety of genres of music, and the likes of which I'm not sure North Carolina has seen.
It has not, and it definitely, when we get Frank's video out there, everybody, you'll be able to appreciate this wonderful pickguard, handmade pickguard that Frank and his son made, and so we will just check up on our Facebook page, and Bob posts when all the videos are out there, and just Facebook, Whoop Ass the Hat, just like the YouTube. Easy to remember.
WHUP, pass the hat, whoop ass the hat. So, Frank, did I hear you say you spent some time riding the rails?
Yeah, when I hitchhiked, when I escaped from the mental institution, I went about 20 or 30 states. I kept getting caught and then escaped and caught and escaped. My mother had sent a detective to find me, and he would find me, but I'd escape before he got to me. But they finally found me and sent me back to England. But I went all around, spent some time in children's homes and juvenile halls and stuff like that. So great songwriting experience.
Yeah.
And
So-
I only lost one tooth, broke my cheek and my nose. Never got raped, so I did pretty well, really.
That's not. Did you break your cheek and your nose in a fight or jumping off the train?
No, in the fights.
Yeah, that's how that happens.
Well, I was real skinny with blonde hair, and I used to say, "Good afternoon, darling. Can I help you?" So I sounded a little.
So people wanted to punch you in the face just right away.
Well, Frank, what do you have for us next?
I'm going to do the cheap song that I wrote. And
Great.
everybody kind of likes this, and it never meant anything. I never had a girl cheat on me because I never was with a girl for more than 3 days. So maybe she did, but in 3 days. So I wrote this, and then I guess it happened later on in life. I know that you know, baby. I know that you know, I know that you know, maybe. Did you release me? Did you release me? I got what you got, babe. I got what you got. Did you not love me? Did you not want me while you were gone? I just still want you, baby. Could you still need me, maybe? Would you forget me? Could you neglect me? I know you touched him, baby. I know you loved him. I'm so forgiving. I'm so willing while you were gone. While you were gone from my heart for so long. I know that you know, I know that you know, baby. I know that you know, 'cause I know that you know, maybe. I got what you got. I got what you got. Did you not love me? Did you not want me while you were gone?
Frank Pierce here on Pass the Hat.
Sorry about that.
That's quite all right. Live music radio at its best. So that was slightly darker.
Yeah.
I like it. We like dark here on Pass the Hat. Gets people thinking, gets people edgy.
Seemed to have had a run at the end of 2017 on murder ballads. Like every week, somebody's bringing in a murder ballad.
That's the other question I wanted to ask, but that now I didn't need to ask it because you have to have a train song and a murder ballad, right? To be able
I'm not much
to.
into violence. I'm a big fella, but I don't like violence. I don't even like talking about it or watching the movies about it. Although I did like No Country for Old Men quite a lot.
Oh, that was a powerful movie.
Yeah, it really was. It blew me away, really. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, so there's there can be murder ballads that aren't necessarily glorifying violence, but there's still that kind of angst and that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah.
But you have to have that answer to the guy when you're playing in the club who yells out, "Play a train song."
Yeah.
Play a murder ballad. So there's a few of those genres you have to have, and you've got 139 songs.
137. I can only ramble off about 60.
It'll be 139 by the time you hit the stairs heading out today because there'll be the radio song.
Yeah.
I don't know what we did to offend Kirk, but Kirk just ran out of the studio like there was something very important going on.
You never know.
So we won't have Kirk on the next song, but while he's out, do you have a really good song we can play and we can make him feel bad about when he comes back?
Well, I wasted some bylines and I wandered through high times and I walked where so many wouldn't go. And my friends, they all know me. I'm fun for the company. I'm just not built for that long haul. But for this night, you're gonna be all right. It ain't my first rodeo. If you're going my way, well, I take the old highways. That's just the way I want to go. Now the desert is behind me. To the mountains I can see it's a path and not that road that troubles me. Yes, and all those friends that know me, they tell you I'm good company. And for this night, that is true. But in this life, I'm not good for much, if for anything at all. But that one girl, well, she's my world. That's where my friends, they just don't know me. They think I'm good company, but it's just a show. Love is my first rodeo. Well, I wasted some bylines, yes, I wandered through high times and I walked where so many wouldn't go. And all those friends that know me will tell you I'm good company. And for this night, it is true. But in this life, I'm just not good for much, if for anything at all. But that one girl, well, she's my world. That's where my friends, they just don't know me. They think I'm good company, but it's just a show. Love is my first rodeo.
I'm the only one clapping.
Thank you, man.
Frank Pierce here on Pass the Hat, and Kirk Ridge is back here with us. Kirk, we missed you. Frank, another fantastic song.
Thought I'd see what it was like to sit in the audience. It's nice over there.
It's nice, right?
Everybody, if you are of a mind to get out and around, not just tonight, but any Friday, we have an open door. We have a listening gallery with beautiful plush, sort of French provincial kind of chairs. They're gorgeous.
That's the way we roll here in Hillsborough.
Yeah.
But it's the whiskey. Oh, are you allowed to say that on the air?
No, you cannot say that we have bourbon here in the studio on the air.
There's nice colored water.
The colored water would be for our guests.
Yes. Well, for our musical playing guests, not just for any guest that shows up, because that would probably be illegal. Probably.
We don't want to do that.
Although there's something to be said for generating controversy to generate controversy and interest, and everyone wants to come be on Pass the Hat because they throw bourbon at you.
Speaking of which, controversy, have they sold the Colonial Inn? Did I hear something?
Oh, yes,
that building right
yes. Yes.
I've
Well,
seen
they have. I may be behind the times, but as far as I know, they haven't closed on it. But it is under contract. So there is a local group of professionals in sort of the architecture and historic renovation circles who has made an offer. They've got it under contract, and they may very well buy it. And if they do, Hillsboro's going to have a party for them, and Hillsboro will. There will just be an outpouring of support to make this thing the beautiful showpiece that it should be.
Well, for those of you who don't know, Bob Johnson has been instrumental in saving the Colonial Inn.
We've been working on it for years.
And many of us have enjoyed it back when it was, still functioning, and wonderful times and dinners there and great memories. And Bob, we all appreciate the work you and your friends have done on this.
Well, it's going to be an exciting time to have that thing renovated here on King Street. Now between here at the Pass the Hat Studios over Dual Supply, on your walk down to Mystery Brewing, as one does on a Friday evening, you'll be able to swing by the Colonial Inn and stop in and have a cocktail and have a nice fine dinner and mosey on your way. It's just opening up a whole nother avenue of nightlife and entertainment, of good stuff happening here in Hillsboro.
Just great news.
If you ever have a fundraiser, I'm all in on that kind of stuff. I do stuff for Meals on Wheels. I've always loved that, and
I guarantee there will be fundraisers involved.
Yeah.
And we will be reaching
I'll always
out.
show up for a fundraiser.
As long as you're willing to play a train song.
Yeah, anytime. I'll write a new one just for you.
Just for the Colonial Inn train song. That's waiting to happen.
Well, Frank Pierce, really enjoying the time with you. We have some time left to hear more of your great music. What do you have for us?
So this is about, I guess, my father. It is sad for me, but it's just the way it goes, isn't it? Don't you agree that I'm better unseen? What would you have felt if you had my dreams? And don't you agree that your heart's into me? For how do I feel being left out at will? And would you have been far better for them? But I want to believe that you would have for me, and that you would have for me. That you would have for me. Whoa, 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 whoa. And tell me now, would you? I feel that you're gone, and I feel that you're here. I fear love has gone, and I feel for that fear. For the days that pass on, while nothing is clear, but the days that are here, I shall hold so dear, well, so dear. Well, to me, and so dear, and to me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, tell me now, would you? And don't you agree that I'm better unseen? What would you have felt if you had my dreams? And don't you agree that your heart turned to me. For how do I feel being left out at will? And would you have been far better for them? But I want to believe that you would have for me, and that you would have. It'd sound a lot better, Kirk, if you played that lead on that song.
Well, I could hear it in my head too. Next time.
It's just right over there over your left shoulder, Kirk. You can grab that guitar anytime.
It doesn't
I was
bother me at all. In
thinking
fact,
about
I dig it.
We were in E minor, were we?
Yeah, I love E minor.
I know E minor. Next time we'll do it. Really enjoyed that song. That was great.
I like it. Had a good drive and rhythm. A lot of good fun.
So, Frank, you have so many good songs. Do you have any thoughts of getting them recorded anytime soon?
Well, that good friend of mine actually took me in the recording studio. I've got a CD. I meant to hand it to you. I'll have Duck, my buddy, get it for you. And it's on the dash, Duck.
Oh, don't make him run outside right now.
Yeah, you can get it in a minute, Duck. I pay him.
Oh, all right. Okay, run, Duck, run.
Bring the Xanax when you come. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't know it was that kind of a party.
But so she paid for me to go into the recording studio, and we put 14 down. And
Nice. Awesome.
Well, I wanted to point out
almost in one take at there's this place called Sam Cat Studios. You probably know Salmon. I forgot his. You know Matt Phillips.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've had Matt Phillips here a couple of times. He's fantastic.
Oh man, you know that's a guitarist I would love to have next to me.
Oh, he's got just a wonderful sound.
Yeah. So I met him at a Thanksgiving dinner, and we played out by a fire outside, and he turned me on to Salmon. And it's just a teeny little house, but we did just about everything in one take. I have arthritis in my hands, so I can go maybe an hour.
It doesn't show.
Yeah, and
so it starts to get
I have to
painful
calm it
after an
down
hour.
A little bit. Yeah. I don't flick extras like I used to back in the day. But.
Well, I wanted to point out to the folks listening on the radio that a lot of folks show up here. They'll have a set list in their hand. They'll have the iPad in front of them to remind them of the lyrics of what song's coming up next. You've got none of that. It's just you and the guitar, and everything is from memory, from muscle memory, and from lyrical memory. So you're just it's almost as if sitting around the campfire and just picking up the guitar and say, well, what song do I feel like playing now? Yeah. And I like that. That's very real.
Yeah, when I get a new song, it's better than a lover. For 3 months, I just dig it, and I play it over and over till it's all in there.
Right.
Sometimes there are songs that I forget. I don't smoke marijuana much anymore, but when I do, I sometimes lose the lyrics here and there. But you wouldn't know because they're original, so I get by.
It sounded right to me.
Yeah.
But that's what am I trying to say? That's a very important talent to have, to not need the crutch of the iPad or the set list in front of you just to have all the songs in your head that you can play. You might not have all 137.
I don't act like I'm somebody special. The reason why is
that's my job.
Yeah, I can't do pedals. I can't do all this other stuff. If I have lyrics there, I'm looking at that and I'm trying to do this. It's hard enough for me to play and sing. So I got to get it down on memory. I don't have much choice.
You didn't see, Bob. You didn't see. He's keeps looking at the tattoo on his left thigh.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's where all the money goes, is to the tattoo artist.
Yeah, that's where the set list is.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're winding down on your hour here on Pass the Hat, but we've got time for another song.
Okay.
Have you got another one memorized?
Yeah, I'd like to. If you can indulge me, I wrote a brand new song. I just got it nailed. I could make a mistake, but I just dig it. I'd like to play it if you don't mind.
Well, I don't know. What's its name?
Midst of My Hell.
Another happy song.
It sounds like it.
I'm losing my religion, finding myself, losing my addictions, convincing myself to avoid these distractions in the midst of my hell. Oh, can't you tell? Losing my direction, no, I keep to myself, seed of convictions. It's a love of myself, oh, can't you tell? In the midst of my hell, lies all the burden, well, they weigh me down, and truth clears my way and lights my true passion. This wonderful odyssey on my great journey, it finds my religion inside myself, oh, can't you tell? In the midst of my hell, in the midst of my hell, I'm losing your religions and I'm finding myself, losing my addictions in spite of myself. I avoid these distractions and this harmony I sell. I'm losing your religions in the midst of my hell, oh, can't you tell? In the midst of my hell, 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 in the midst of my hell. In the midst of my hell.
Frank Pierce, live on Past the Hat. Frank, thanks so much for joining us on the show today. Bob has your CD queued up here, and we'll move to the end of the first hour by you picking which song you'd like us to spin.
Well, thank you, Bob and Kirk. I really appreciate what you've done here for me today. It's fantastic.
It's been a sincere
Let me look
pleasure.
at it and figure out which one you might want to play.
And by the way, that last song was pretty much the perfect cold, dark January, everybody's unhappy kind of a song. It's great.
God, there's so many good ones.
Everybody, if you are enjoying the show, all of our shows are archived. It's first hour with Frank and second hour coming up with Emily Mussolino. Will be out there on WHUPFM.org, as well as the songs from our last 3 years of the show. And so get out there anytime, 24 hours a day.
So I would like you to play Cheryl. It's my sister that passed away 1997. And
That's the last track on that, 14, right?
It is
she's-
number 14.
she was just as beautiful a soul as you could ever find. She was my inspiration for a lot of things. She loved my children, and I miss her dearly. And I wrote that song for her, and it's pretty special to me. It takes really a good guitar. Somebody like Kirk could play that really well. It's real slow, but it's a little difficult for me. But
Be somebody. You have mixed me up with Emily Mussolino. Everybody.
But again, I thank you guys,
Thank
Bob
you,
and Kirk
Frank.
and WHUP. I really appreciate that.
WHUP LP, Hillsboro.
Sorry. Dreams have taken most of my life, and work is more than sacrifice. Time is unforgiving while my life is surely sinning. And though I know of all of my thoughts, you know I wonder about my golden heart. The years of gold that have been, well, they have been sold. But don't you crawl now, baby. into a blanket of fear, my dear. Holy Ghost, well, are you going? Are you going to see me clear? And holy slow, whoa, whoa. I know that I have had it nice, you know, and I know your sacrifice. And in your time I know that you've never taken any of mine. Though I know of none of your thoughts, you know I wonder about your broken heart. Years of toll upon your soul. But don't you crawl now, baby, into a blanket of fear, my dear. Holy Ghost, well, are you going? Are you going to see me clear? Holy slow, whoa, whoa.
All right, that was Frank Pierce from his most recent CD. Felt better, but it cost more. You can find more, Frank Pierce does not have a website yet. It's a fantastic CD, though. Follow us on Facebook, WHUP Pass Ahead on Facebook, and we will hook you up with Frank Pierce, and you can buy that CD if you want to, and you'll find out where he's going to be playing out, because he's going to be playing out more.